attack begins. Ukrainian Bradley is moving forward and deploys a smoke screen to prevent strikes from Russian ATGMs. Main objective is to attack Russian positions from the flank. Ukrainian Bradley opens fire with Bushmaster cannon. Meanwhile, a Ukrainian armored vehicle breaks through and heads straight to Russian positions. But everything changes when Russian forces deploy an artillery unit. Ukrainian vehicle almost gets hit with direct strike. Despite that, the assault continues. Now the tactic becomes clear. This armored vehicle is used as a decoy for Russian artillery and drones. Meanwhile, an M113 full of Ukrainian soldiers joins the assault. Ukrainian APC is heading to enemy positions. As it moves closer, the shelling from Russian artillery only intensifies. A close hit, but it's not enough. Ukrainian soldiers get to the Russian positions while commanders witness the assault in real time.
Пацани, давайте мені зворотній зв'язок. Я не розумію, що у вас відбувається.
The battle in the trenches begins, but Russian forces were prepared for this. A 240mm mortar is deployed. An extremely close hit, but luckily no one was harmed. Ukrainian drone locates Russian dugout, and both sides engage in fire contact.
Мінуснули якихось?
По 4-5-0.
Красавчик, лучший.
A group of Ukrainian soldiers captures Russian strongpoint, but the fight is far from over. Russian soldiers try to fire back, but when APC joins the battle, the chances of winning reduce to 0. Ukrainian soldiers successfully clear Russian hideouts one after another and prepare the defense. Meanwhile, Russian artillery opens fire trying to hit an APC.
Пацани, старайтесь сильно там не зациклюватися і продовжувати, бо вже починають працювати.
Ukrainian armored vehicle fires at Russian positions, while Ukrainian soldiers carry wounded comrades to the APC.
Вон акуратно, скіт над вами, скіт над вами.
Russian drones drop the explosives to destroy the hideout of Ukrainian soldiers.
Друже, постарайтеся дочистити, і все, і далі діємо по плану, надаємо собі допомогу і куримо.
Ukrainian forces set up the small hospital and provide medical attention to the wounded. Some soldiers even make some new friends.
Ти диви, що він ісполняє.
For the next assault, Ukrainian forces deployed 2 Bradleys and 1 APC. The tactic is the same. After using a smoke screen, Bradley breaks through and opens fire at Russian positions. Bradley tears apart Russian positions. Meanwhile, APC moves closer and prepares to deploy infantry. Russian forces deploy a self-propelled artillery and open fire at Ukrainian vehicles. Shell lands just meters away, but Bradley remains on the move.
Прицел 415, уровень 30-02.
Once again, shell lands just few meters away. Ukrainian APC survives by miracle and deploys infantry. Meanwhile, another Bradley attacks from the flank. Russian forces try to catch Ukrainians on the move.
593, левее 102. Орудие! Выстрел!
The first shell missed, but one of Russian soldiers fires RPG. A direct hit, but armor withstands the damage. Ukrainian Bradley continues the assault mission. Meanwhile, the shelling from Russian artillery only gets worse.
Выстрел!
Bradley drives to Russian positions under heavy shelling and the mission begins. Russian forces deploy a T-90 to completely crush Ukrainian assault group. Ukrainian Bradley, equipped with tow missiles, locates Russian tank, and when it locks on target, the shot is fired. Russian tank gets heavily damaged and has to leave the battlefield, but the celebrations did not last too long. Russians deploy ATGM and fire a missile at Ukrainian Bradley. Massive detonation. It may seem that Bradley is destroyed, but armor withstands the damage. Russians reload and fire a second missile. A second direct hit, but the armor saves Ukrainian soldiers. Russians report that the Bradley was stopped and artillery opens fire.
Расчет пуск!
Ukrainian soldiers managed to leave the battlefield unharmed. Now we have already seen the Bradley's insane firepower and armor capabilities, but what can it do against its Russian analogs? Let's look at the moments when Bradley faced Russian BTRs and BMPs. Russian forces conduct a regular assault operation. An APC with more than 15 men on board were sent to take control over Ukrainian positions. When the APC reaches the destination, Russian soldiers quickly jump off and rush to the trenches. Meanwhile, Ukrainian Bradley was already in its firing position. When Russian armored vehicle is in sight, Ukrainian Bradley opens fire. Bushmaster easily penetrates Russian APC. The engine is set on fire and the vehicle stops. Flawless job by Ukrainian Bradley. Now let's look at the time when these two Russian BTRs began an attack. Both fully loaded, and with more than 20 men on board, they carry a serious threat for Ukrainian defense. They pass the minefield and head straight to Ukrainian positions. But they did not expect this. On the other side, two Bradleys are deployed to completely crush Russian plans. When Russian armored group gets in the range of Ukrainian Bradleys, they both open fire. Here are the results. Two BTRs were completely destroyed and left burning. On the way back, Ukrainian Bradleys face a Russian ATGM group. Bradley gets hit in the front, but luckily armor was not penetrated. Ukrainian soldier that was inside is going to show the results of Russian strike.
Отак сьогодні нас поїбали.
Bradley gets heavily damaged, but most importantly, it left its crew without even a scratch.
Ну ми вижили.
Now let's look at that time when a Russian BTR faced a Bradley in a duel. Russians attack through the open field and fire at different directions. BTR drives at max speed straight to Ukrainian Bradley. The crew reacts quickly and opens fire. Russians suffer from precise hits, but they continue moving forward and Bradley appears right in front of them. Vehicles pass each other just few meters away. Russian BTR begins to smoke, and just like that, Russian assault ends as quickly as it started. And this BTR was deployed to drop off the infantry near Ukrainian positions. Ukrainian Bradley spots the target and fires tow missile. close hit, but Russians keep moving forward. BTR rolls in and deploys infantry. Russian soldiers quickly jump off and take cover. BTR begins to retreat. But there is one thing they don't know about. A Ukrainian Bradley moves in firing position and locks on target. A direct hit from Bradley takes out Russian BTR. Later, the ammunition detonated, leaving just a bunch of burning metal. These two Russian soldiers were sent to set up a sniper position to gather intelligence. A Bradley is deployed to completely crush Russian positions, but Russian forces were ready. An ATGM group was already preparing the strike. ATGM strikes Ukrainian Bradley, directly causing massive explosion. Bradley catches fire and it may seem like it was completely destroyed. But few seconds later, Bradley continues the mission like nothing has happened. When Bradley finally reaches its target, it locks on Russian positions, and then this happens. TOW missile strikes, leveling Russian positions to the ground. But if that was not enough, Bushmaster gun finishes the job. Ukrainian forces receive information about advancement of Russian troops. Bradley and T-64 are deployed to take back the positions. Bradley moves in first and opens fire. The first position is cleared. Ukrainian tank moves in and fires at Russian hideouts. Ukrainian forces successfully clear out positions one after another. Meanwhile, Russian artillery receives the coordinates of Ukrainian armored vehicles and takes a shot. A close hit, but Ukrainian Bradley remains on the move. After successfully completing the mission, Ukrainians leave the battlefield unharmed.